Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Collingwood vs Brisbane game, going through how it wasn't really the best game for fantasy. I mean, we saw an electric first half from Darcy Cameron, and then the effect of Mason Cox coming into the game as a sub pretty much deaded his role, as I think he only had about 20 odd in the second half. If we look, even just looking at here quickly, so that was evens, 25 points in the last about 75 minutes of action. From the 18th minute onwards of the second quarter to the end of the game, he had only 25 points, and that was including, I believe he even got a free kick or whatever included in that as well, and a couple of tackles, it looks like, from something. So it looks like he got a holding the ball decision or something like that to add to that. But yeah, he really fell apart. Josh Dunkley sort of fell apart as well. Lachie Neale was in patches as well, so no one really dominated the game per se and really put a rubber stamp on their AFL fantasy. But I mean, it's not really, Collingwood don't really have that guy at the moment with Nick Dacos out, and Josh Dacos fell away quite massively after the first quarter. So yeah, just not really anyone. And then it was a big scoring night for the Ruckman. But I mean, outside of that, no one else really did anything in particular. But before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. And let's get into the video. So as you can see here, what I was talking about with Darcy Cameron, you can see here 29, and then he was on 52. So he was on 81. And then also, I believe here, if you look closely as well, he had, it might have been I believe at one point he was on 83 points as well. So I don't know where that point those points got discredited from him or something, but I swear he was at 183 points at one point. Maybe it was Scotty Pendlebury that got up to that marker. No, it wouldn't have been Chris, but maybe Dacos got up to that, and Dacos wouldn't have got up to that marker. So at one point he was on 83, and I don't think anyone else was close to him. So I don't know whether this is just discounting that he had a free kick or something like that against, I think, that caused it for him to go down, etc. I don't think they're counting it, or whether they just discredited something. But yeah, he was on fire, and that's when I put out a tweet saying, it just seems to always happen when you trade out a non-injury premium. They always seem to go crazy a week or two later, and then preceding that point, he actually went only, I think he was actually out 83 or whatever when I tweeted that out. He only proceeded to get another. I can actually get my phone out because I think I put the number that he was on at that point. But yeah, outside of that, he did nothing, and no, I didn't actually put the did I? No, I didn't put the number that he was on at the time, the points that he was on, but I think it was around around this marker here, where he was in the 80s. And yeah, after that, I pretty much put a jinx on him, as he did nothing. Well, I mean, the injury to Ryan, the sub out because of a concussion, and that actually is good for us in the future because he'll be a rookie priced player, as well as the fact that he was scoring pretty well. So I think he could be a rookie next year defender, 200k, that sort of similar to Wilmot, who we might actually see in the finals. We could see, but I don't think we will. And he could easily average something like 60 or something like that next year, just as that D7 type guy. So I'm really looking forward to him, as he looks promising, and I think he will actually get games next year. And then obviously you got Pendlebury 1-2-2. He just came alive in I guess he just was ultra consistent, and seems like he did a lot of work in red time. As you can see here, 25 points in this quarter, and 18 of them were in red time. In this quarter here, in red time, he went 7, 10, 12 points. In red time here, he even went, he got 20 points, and in red time here, he got, 33 minus 10, 13, 15. So we got 18 points, 18, 20. So he's on 38 points in red time, as well as 12 points here. So that's 50 points in red time. And then another 18. So he had 68 points in red time, which is ridiculous because that's only a third of the game, realistically, a third to just under a half. So 40% of the game time, and he had somewhere around about 60 or so points worth of in that time. So yeah, ridiculous output from him. We talked about Cameron. Crisp was really good and looks to be back to his best, but just a shocking third quarter. Pretty much prevented him a 120. Josh Dacos, as I said, a massive first half and then just fell off. Maynard, 93. He did all right. Don't know how he didn't give away a 50 to that Hipwood one. I think it was. Was it Hipwood or was it Joe Danaher? I think it was Hipwood. And Hipwood, or was it Danaher? I don't know which one it was. They proceeded to still kick the goal, so it didn't matter. But umpire abuse went out the question there. And then, yeah, so he wasn't the best standing captain, to be honest. Mitchell just came alive in the last quarter, but other than that, he's been pretty disappointing. Elliott, 83. Don't know how he got up to 83, to be honest with you. I mean, he kicked, 3 goals? He actually kicked 3 goals. Didn't even realise he kicked 3 goals. Myercheck would have kicked a couple, I'm guessing. 1 goal. He kicked, 1 goal 3 or something here? 1 goal, 2 goals. 2 goals 2, sorry, it looks like. 2 goals 2 he kicked. So, yeah, he had a day out as well. Sidebottom, Adams, mixed day, Noble struggling again, only 5 points in the second half. He was on 53 at halftime, so he just fell just absolutely fell. I don't know whether they changed his matchup or anything, but yeah, when he kicked that goal in the first quarter, I mean, it was early, but I thought he was going to have a good game and just didn't seem to get the marks that he could have easily gotten in the second half that could have boosted his score, I guess, up. Cox came on and was kind of ridiculous, to be honest. In basically a half a footy, he went and scored 58 and shows that he can do a job when he actually is the ruckman. But I mean, I don't know who they actually have, Collingwood in the last round. If we look at Collingwood, not Essendon, Collingwood, they in the last round have Essendon, I don't know if Draper's playing. I don't remember seeing Draper on the team list, so let me just double check that whilst going through, if he actually is. But yeah, so Mason Cox did really well in the half that he had. Lipinski was alright. I thought he faded out of the game pretty convincingly in the second half. As you can see here, just they need that run and gun in the midfield. And yes, Sam Draper is back for Essendon, so that probably turns that into a hard matchup now. So I wouldn't even be looking at that anyway. Markov, he really struggled in this game, to be honest. Ginnivan struggled as well to make much of an impact. McCreary as well, and looks like he's going to get suspended, to be honest, McCreary, as that was a bad tackle. Arms pinned, excessive force into the ground, head hits the ground. I know that Wilmot wasn't concussed or whatever, but that should still be looked at as pretty bad. Elliott, Hoskin Elliott, Quaynor, Frampton, Murphy and Ryan. Then we move over to McInerney here, was absolutely huge for Brisbane, 43-28. And then nothing in the second half, only 35 in the second half. He could have pushed on for 110, 120 quite easily. Zorko, 103, he was actually pretty good, and I'm pretty sure it was late into, I think it was after this mark here or something like that, he had 5 marks, 4 tackles or whatever, and that just, the non-disposal points that he gets, and you can see here as well, another 3 marks. I think he ended up with somewhere close to, if I actually just double check, I think he ended up with somewhere close to, 9 marks, 4 tackles, that's 27, that's 43 non-disposal points. That's a huge effort. Dunkley here, he got the 102. He had something like 8 or 9 tackles if I look here. Dunkley here, he had 8 tackles, 3 marks. He had a tackle even taken away. So yeah, that's 32 plus 9. So that's 41 non-disposal points. It's absolutely huge from Dunkley. And yeah, just a little bit too handball happy and didn't really get involved in that third quarter. If he got involved in that third quarter, it would have been a good VC. But happy that I didn't go for Dunkley, and just going to go for a stab in the dark with Nick Newman, and just hope Nick Newman has a 20-mark game against Gold Coast and goes ridiculous. But I wouldn't be surprised if they put someone on him, to be honest. It's Gold Coast. They come up with weird and wacky stuff, and it doesn't seem to work out winning-wise, but it's inventive, I guess. And I thought Neil at quarter time, I was like, oh no. This is one of those games where Neil is going to go nuts. He's got the disposals raring. And if he just gets the kicks and the marks and the tackles like he was getting early in the season, remember that, what was it, a 15-mark game, whatever, I thought this could be a 130, 140 quite easily for Neil. But he had, I think, only 2 marks and 4 tackles, I want to say, or something like that. Somewhere around there, where that's, 2 and 3. So he only had 12, 18 non-disposal points, as well as the fact that, did he give away... he had 18 and then 2 free kicks, so 20 non-disposal points. So he really had to make it up in the disposals. He just needs to get the tackles and the marks and maybe get a goal. I mean, he had one rushed through by Danaher, I think it was, which if that goal had gone through, that would have got him up to the 103 and that would have really pushed him on. But yeah, just it was a nerve-wracking game with Neil, and that's obviously the case with a lot of midfielders that you have. Because the midfielders are the guys that can score the most fantasy points, and when you go against one of them, it's quite hard to watch them actually play, etc. And that'll be me with Butters probably in the last game of the season, in the last game of this round as well. Coleman, McKenna, Hipwood, McCluggage, Berry, Bailey, Starcevic, Danaher, Cameron, Rayner, Robertson, Lester, Wilmot. These guys all are just going to be those 70, 80 guys, I think. So I don't really see much with them. Fletcher, 38, so he's not really getting too much involved. Could we see him go up next year? I don't know, but Fletcher as well. I swear I make this every week with about Fletcher, just trying to see if he's going to go down. 49.7 now, so if he can get another game of 30, can we see him go down to 47 or something like that? Just adding a little bit more of a leeway for him next year or something, but yeah, I don't know about that. Kind of hoping he does, because him getting something like that will really, really help. Like, the lowest we can see him go is the lowest, if he was to get a 0, would be 45. I don't think he will, because if he gets like a 30, that would put him at 48. So 48, that's not too bad. And there could be some value there, but yeah, I don't really see there being much value there with Fletcher now. I think he's solidified that price too much, and it's a little bit too high for the output that he seems to be putting up in the latter half of this year. But anyway, that is the video there, and so a good couple of things to come out of it. Dunkley scoring well. Ryan, I know it's sad that he did get, and it sucks that he did get concussed, but at least it gives us another option next year, and I'll be looking to him in the preseason next year, because he is going to be of value. And I do actually like the way he plays. He seems to be that run and sort of run providing defender. I think he can be. And yeah, so it will be interesting how he plays if he gets game time next year, as I think he could be valuable next year. I think he could potentially replace Markov, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But that is the video, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.